My name is Lorena, and welcome to HIT, HR IT Today, our podcast from Barcelona, Spain. Today we have a special guest, Aram Gugusian, that is the founder of URUWORKS since 2009. He's from Uruguay, and right now he's in Uruguay. So, hi, Aram, how are you?
Hi, Lorena. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you to be here with us. So, URUWORKS is a software company that works with web and mobile also, and works mainly for the US market. In the highlights of URUWORKS is an HR integrated platform that has more than 1 million users in the US. It's crazy. And also, right now, they are working in a new platform, a communication platform actually, that helps communicate between the teachers and the parents in different languages. This platform helps the process of learning with children from immigrants in the US to improve learning process. So let's get to know more about your works and this new project of talking points.
Thank you, Lorena. Thank you for having me here. I wanted to talk a little bit about, URUWORKS, and I like software since I was a child. I started coding myself when I was 12 years old. Actually, the first book that I read was a C++ book, and I love coding since then. So shortly after I finished university, back in 2009, I wanted to do software. I wanted to code and help companies build their platforms. And that's when I started the URUWORKS. It's headquartered here in Uruguay, in Montevideo. It's a growing team. We have done several things, like you mentioned, from HR software to communication and positioning systems.
Okay, so Aram, how does it URUWORK was born? What was the dream inside that company that was founded in 2009?
The dream was my dream. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to work by myself. So and I wanted to help people build their dreams. Also, software does that. Software helps you and anyone be able to achieve their goals by using computers. And my dream was to be able to help people do that as easily, as fast, reliable as possible. So that's when it all started.
Okay, and the idea was to be able to work with the US market already, or you started working in Latin America? What was the idea?
I actually started in Latin America. The first things that we did were software for casino, for entertainment industries. Basically, we had a system that tracked users playing in the machines, by looking at their face, know their expressions, and understanding how they were feeling to be able to serve them better. Uh,
Wow.
um, also a prototype. It never got actually launched. The technology back then wasn't enough to be able to do it accurately enough to be a production service, but it was a nice experience. By doing that, I got to meet more. The network grow. I got to meet more people. One of the persons that I met, he was from Minnesota. Um, they had a staffing agency that they wanted to grow and build their systems um, around software. So they wanted to automate payroll, automate orderings, automate communication. We found each other online. We have worked for a long time since then, building their staffing platform.
Okay, so you built one of the projects that you had many years was to build an HR platform related with payroll, time and assistance, staffing. So the platform grow a lot. And that was mainly also for the US market, right?
It was
In
for the
Minnesota.
Yes, we
Okay,
serve users across the whole country, but the headquarters was in Minnesota.
in Minnesota.
It was mostly for workers in factories, so there was a high turnaround, and the platform was able to select the most appropriate people from a large pool each day. So, for example, for food cutting or food processing facilities, things like that.
Okay. And how many users? that platform was able to manage at the same time? For example, just to understand the robust uh, of the platform, how robust
They
was.
they have tens of thousands of clients, and they have millions users at the same time, users consuming workers. So it was pretty big. It kept scaling from time to time.
Yeah, so it's like in the US, everything is very big, right?
Yes, everything is in millions.
In millions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great because you have big shoulders, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
challenge to build software at scale that works fast. It's very easy to build prototypes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything works, right?
Yeah,
When it's small.
yeah.
Okay, and tell us about this new project that it's Talking Points. Tell us more about the spirit of the project. What is it about? How it was created, like in the mind of someone, and
Mhm.
how is right now?
So the project started. The founder, she's called Hee Jae Lim. She's an Korean immigrant in the U.S. One of the problems she had when she studied abroad was that their family wasn't able to speak English. So when she went to school, and when general kids go to school from immigrant parents, they don't have a way to communicate with teachers when they go to school. And that parent-teacher communication is very important for the student outcome. So if your parents are involved in your education, you are more likely to succeed. That's where the whole idea came from. So we wanted to build a platform that was easy to use, that was accessible for users who don't even have internet, that platform, that platform, which is called Talking Points, allowed enabled communication for a group of people who had not communicated before. So if you're a parent, there is no, I mean, there is no, you don't speak English. You are able to send text messages, for example, from your phone, even if you don't have internet connection, in a way that it's individualized. So you're able to talk specifically to to a teacher or to a school. Your messages are going to be translated. So even if you don't speak English, whatever language you speak, it's going to be translated. And the teacher will receive the messages in English. And then they are able to reply back. The big
Okay, but
characteristic of this platform is reach, because even if you don't have internet, you are able to communicate with the teacher.
so it's not a web
It's an
page or an app. It's an app.
it's an app for the teachers, because teachers
Oh,
usually have internet connections. They either they have it at school or they have it at home. But immigrants, especially when they arrive to the US, or they are low-income families, might not have internet connection. So
okay.
the big challenge was how do we reach them, and we did it through SMS.
And
So
how do you meet with tell me again the name?
Hijay is her name.
Hije. How did you meet with her and start working together? And what is the role that each one of you plays in this project?
So we met through a Meteor development group. Meteor is one of the languages that we use. It's a framework written in JavaScript on top of Node.js. Back then, when we were doing the software for staffing, one of the things we tried was that platform. It was very unusual at the time, very unstable, but it was very promising. So we gave it a shot and we liked it. We were part of the Meteor Development Group, which is a community of developers who use that platform. The big characteristic of it was tailored to do rapid development. So it was very good for prototyping. And Hijay had this idea of building talking points and found us online through that platform. And that's when it all started. The first we liked the idea. We like we had a goal in common. We agreed on the goal that it was very helpful and very nice to help parents. So the Meteor allowed us to build it fast. So what we did was do a prototype. I think it took us a month, and we put it live. It has grown to what it is right now since then. This
What it is right now? How many users? Where are people using it right now in the US?
It's all over the US, across the whole United States, and we are crossing 7 million users as of today. We serve
Wow.
all the states and a lot of big districts. We have partnership with big districts, and most of them, if not all, are public schools and public districts. So we mostly serve public schools.
Okay, and you're searching for talent right now, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So, what is the big challenges that someone that start working with you could find? How what is the technology or the frameworks you're using?
Mhm. The challenge is, I think, one of the biggest challenges is a fast-paced environment. We are still a small organization. We are around 10 developers here in Uruguay, and there are a lot of things to build. And the platform has grown in different areas, and there is a lot of AI lately that we have been using. So the challenge is to be able to keep up with our growth. We do fast development cycles. We try to accommodate the app from time to time to fit user needs, and they change. And especially now with COVID, the whole communication became more important, and the amount of messages we need to send, the different type of media we need to send, how we translate all of that became more important. So that change, it's a challenge.
And what kind of frameworks or languages are you using right now to develop this platform or keep on developing? Because I understand that it's already in use
Yes,
platform.
it has been in use since 5, 6 years ago.
Okay.
The platform that we use is Meteor.js. We actually that framework that everything started with was a prototype also back then, and now it's a stable platform. So we have been using it since then for development. It has scaled very well. Um, it's written on JavaScript, the whole backend. So the server side code and the client side code, it's all in JavaScript. And the database that we use is called MongoDB. It's an object-oriented database. That's also something not very common long ago. When I actually started, everything was SQL, and these object-oriented databases were just dreams. But now they are becoming more mainstream, and that's something challenging to use in a sense if you're used to all types of database.
And what about the teams? Do you work with Agile,
Yes,
Scrum? How do you work?
Scrum. The product team and the partnerships team, it's in the US. We work closely with them every single day. They are in charge of designing the product features, talking to customers, gathering requirements. And we do the regular ceremony of stand-up, backlog, sprints, retros. And the whole development team, it's here in Uruguay. We have an office that is now optional to go, and we have been growing the team here since then.
And how many people is assigned for this project particularly right now?
Right now, it's 9 developers, and there is 30 more product and sales management in the US.
In
So
the US?
everyone altogether, we're around 40 people.
40 people in
Mhm.
this project right now.
Yes.
And how does the future looks like for this project and your works also?
This it looks promising, but it looks challenging. Nothing is static nowadays, even more. So what it looks like is that we have a good communication platform now, but we want to take a step further and be able to help parents and teachers communicate better. So we don't only want them to be talking to each other; we want to give them a means of having relevant conversations and having conversations that actually affect the kids. And we want to do that through AI. So one of the areas we're expanding into right now is NLP. So we're trying to understand the natural language, what people are sending through messages, and using that information to be able to suggest or to be able to help teachers and parents communicate better. So, for
Okay.
example,
Mm.
if a parent and a teacher are talking about mathematics and they're talking about how the student learned today how to calculate an area, for example, an automated message can go out and saying, hey, seems that you're learning about mathematics. Why don't you try these exercises with your kid at home so he can better understand what you had on the school today? and we want to do that fully automatic.
Okay. So the AI is not about the interaction per se.
Mhm.
About like understanding what is the child studying about to being
Exactly.
able to help their parents, to
Exactly.
help them at home in their native language.
Exactly. Yes. So we
Okay.
can send you an exercise in Spanish about an area, for example, and you can do it with your kid. It's an
Okay.
ambitious goal. Uh,
It's a what?
it's an ambitious goal. It's
Yeah, 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 of course.
even if it's easy to say, it's very complicated. But we're doing some prototypes around that. We have some things that we can start launching very soon.
Okay, looks great. So that's why you're growing fast. How many people are you thinking of hiring? And maybe in the future, like from now that we are in July 2021, how many people are you thinking of growing from now
We're
to the end of the year?
Our projection is to double the team in a year, so by next July. And before this year ends, we're trying to add 4 to 5 more developers, and especially with AI background and AI talent that we're looking for, and data also. Another thing that happened because of growth is that we have a lot of data now. We have conversations, or we have data about students, and we want to leverage using AI. The whole data management, scalability of the database, growth of data needs to be managed closely, and that's a challenge in itself, especially because of the speed and reliability.
Perfect. What do you value the most of the talent or the people that you hire as a person? I mean, not only IT wise. I mean, as a
Mhm.
yeah, as a person.
I think being honest and being good team players. I think what's most important for developers is to be able to teach. Like I said at the beginning, I wanted to help, and developers can help each other. So I think it's very important that everyone who comes to URUWORKS, they not only have good talent that they can produce, but they also have the capacity of helping your peers to have good talent too. So I think and everyone on the team is like that, and we try to keep it that way. That's the biggest point to have somebody.
Okay, then. So, Aram, that's great. It sounds very ambitious, your
Mhm.
project about AI, about the future, about growing double the size in 1 year. So, it sounds great. It's a very good cause also because
Mhm.
it's very nice. People are right now looking for sense of meaning, doing something that makes sense.
Yes,
Then so to understand the meaning and the goal on the long term that you're looking for, it's very very nice. I think it's very good to understand that for the talent also that are looking your positions and understanding what it's going to be about, what they are going to code, but for
exactly.
what, the
Code for
purpose, right?
purpose. Exactly.
Yes, yes, everybody's looking for a purpose right now.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
a sense of meaning. So thank you very much for your time. It was very nice to have you in our podcast. And I want to ask everyone to share their comments or questions in the comments below, and follow us in YouTube and Spotify. And we will have another podcast next week. So thank you very much to everyone. Thank you, Aram. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye bye.